Hello, you guys. Welcome back to Kind of Hot, Kind of Healthy. It is a happy Wednesday whenever you're listening to this. Um, I have beef to bring up not about you. Have you been seeing It Ends With Us and Blake Lively and
Uh,
all that discourse?
if she is not in either of ours hot list of hate for this week, then we have failed as women.
Girl, that's what I was starting with. Like, genuinely, I felt so frustrated, irritated, upset, angry. And that's,
Uh-huh.
it's not always the funnest way to start off your podcast, but we're going to keep it real because genuinely I was like if we like don't talk about this, I'm going to be just like so upset because like is nobody like in reality holding her accountable? Like I see everybody on TikTok is, but like
Mhm.
are people in the real world?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. So if you guys like don't know, right? Blake Lively's doing press for It Ends With Us. I've never read the Colleen Hoover books. Everybody says they like them, but from what I've heard online is a lot of people are saying the author herself seems to like romanticize these abusive relationships, which like
Yeah.
I don't know, red flag. Like I don't want to read a book that's romanticizing this. I don't know, haven't read the books. If you've read the books, let us know your thoughts below. So they're doing press and all that sort of stuff. And like Blake Lively is not really, she's trying to make like a Barbenheimer
Mhm.
for Deadpool and It Ends With Us.
Mhm.
Like, girl, what are you doing? Like, fetch is not happening. This is not happening. This is not Barbenheimer. This is a movie about like trigger warning,
Domestic
like
violence. Oh,
domestic
sorry.
violence. That's okay. That's okay. And Deadpool X Wolverine was just like not a great movie at all. Like I
Mhm.
can't. I can't. And
Mhm.
she just is really I never had a problem with Blake Lively. I don't want to like just like bash a woman just because whatever, you know? So I never had a problem with her. Now I have a problem. Now I'm
Mhm.
irritated.
Mhm.
Ugh. That was just like that came to me early morning and I was like, "Ooh, I am mad. I'm mad."
Yeah, I just feel like it's like we always say, like we're not here to bash women or in like people in particular, whether we're doing a deep dive or things like this. But I just don't think, like in good conscience, when you're promoting a movie about domestic violence, it does it make sense to talk about like you're missing the whole point of the book. And she keeps talking, and I keep seeing so many survivors of domestic violence talk about how she is like belittling their experience because she keeps saying like we're more than what happened to us, we're more than this. And all, and a lot of women, I'm not one of those women, but
Yeah.
brave women that are coming out and just responding in the comments, especially on TikTok, saying like it is always a part of me what happened.
Right.
It changed me to my core. And as someone who has survived through like a really hard medical diagnosis, that changed me to my core. So I can only
Right.
imagine what it feels like to go through something as traumatic as domestic violence and have that forever flavor your life in a way, that you can't undo. And
Right. Right.
she's using her extra platform because she already has a platform, but she's using
Right.
the fact she is in this movie to not only promote her stupid ass hairline that like literally
Oh, it
just
looks like shit.
yes, it looks like shit. And so many interviews are coming up with her where she's like a classic mean girl, like
She's a
that interview.
bully.
She is. And
Yeah.
just like, why are you promoting your hairline no one fucking cares about? Like, I saw someone showing like all the advertising on her hairline, and they're like, this looks terrible. All the hair in the pictures look dry and like horse hair. And
Literally.
the way she's handling the interviews, and like if you haven't seen any, like just literally Google them, you'll find so many.
Yeah.
Like she is just not emphasizing the point of this movie and what it's about, domestic violence. And even her bio on Instagram is all about her fucking hairline. And Justin Baldoni, is that correct last
Yep.
name?
Yep.
He is talking about the movie, talking about the domestic violence, talking about the survivors, sharing everything about sources for domestic violence. And it's just like, what are you doing? Like this is what we need. Him. Like I've seen nothing bad about him because he's doing what we need to do, and she's just like
Well,
making this
now
about capitalism.
I don't even know. Like now I'm like, I feel stressed out about Justin Baldoni because he hired the same PR crisis manager that Johnny Depp did. So I don't know like why did you do that? I don't know, maybe because like he's a
Yeah.
director, he doesn't have as much
Mhm.
like clout as Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, and like
Mhm.
maybe he's just doing that as like a to protect his brand, his business, like his identity. But I'm
I
like,
think so.
probably because like nothing, if something were to come out, it would have already come out, I feel like.
I think he could have got away without hiring anyone because we kind of all
Right.
knew.
But
But I
maybe
think,
he just, it was like, I'm scared. Like,
yeah,
because
because like,
Blake and Ryan have so much
yes, yes.
influence. Even over this damn movie, Ryan Reynolds during the writer's strike was like, he changed one of the scenes, like, he changed the script. And the writer was not aware until like the scene was happening. Who do you think you are?
Mm,
White man
annoying.
syndrome. Who do you think you are? Like, what are you doing?
I
You
know.
can't just change that. But that, to start off passionately, if you don't got passion, what do you have? This that was my I was like, I cannot be silenced. I must talk about this. Not only does her hair look like shit,
Yeah.
sorry, peace and love. Um, the clothing in the movie was weird, and she was like trying to flex like, oh, I brought, I went through my closet, my husband's closet, my girlfriend Gigi's closet, like Gigi Hadid. Like, okay, like we get it, like you're
Like, you don't
famous, you're a
have to, like,
celebrity.
name drop when you're freaking famous. Oh, and then I saw she was trying to say that Justin Baldoni was, like, shaming her because
Oh
he
yes,
has a
about her weight.
he has a previous back injury, and he literally asked what her weight was because he had to lift her. Like, I'm
Mhm.
sorry, but if I had a back injury and I was an actor and I wanted to protect myself, I'd be like, "Hey, like, just let me know what we're working with because I wanna make sure I am safe." Like, girl, shut the fuck up. Like, I
Yeah,
everything
I
about
can I can see both sides of that argument, just only in the way of like she was, postpartum. That can be really triggering emotionally just because of like bounce back culture. And like, I don't know, maybe there was a better way to handle it. Like, maybe it happened in a really like respectful way. Obviously, we
it
don't like
probably
know that.
did, but
It
I have
probably
a
did.
feeling
Yeah,
I bet you the delivery was great. I bet you
maybe. Yeah.
it's all in the delivery and how you ask very, like, triggering or sensitive questions. I
I'd still
cannot
feel
imagine.
triggered, I think.
Okay, well, that's a on you
Yeah.
thing. Do you know what I mean? That's a you
Well, it's
problem.
like, I think if you're supposed to lift this woman for the role, either just then like don't lift her. Like if you're questioning, oh, is it gonna hurt my back? Then just change it. Like, I don't know. I just like
Yeah.
it's just a little awkward. I think personally, it's just awkward
Yeah,
situation
it's a sensitive
for
discussion,
sure.
women's weight. So
Ugh,
I think, I'm there maybe what who knows how it was asked, who knows X, Y, and
love
Z.
to be a
I
fly on the wall.
Literally, I just think she's just trying to use anything to smear his name
Deflect.
because yeah, I don't know. I like hate all of them. Like this is like the same kind of hatred
I
I
hate
started
all of
having.
them. Period.
Literally. Like when the Kardashians were super involved with what was
uh
like the creepy pictures with kids stuff and we were like, what the fuck's going on?
Balenciaga.
Yeah, when Kim and all of them were so involved that I was like, no more, done. Like I
I
don't
think
watch
she's
them.
still like she like kind of
Exactly.
distanced herself from Balenciaga, but like now it's like back. Like
Exactly. Like,
it's
no,
weird.
like
Yeah,
that.
it's
I
weird.
don't watch, support any of their stuff because they make money just on views, and that's not. I'm not giving
And
you my
their
money.
their Hulu show is so boring.
I've
Like
heard.
I watched season 1 whenever it came out because I was like, "Oh wow, like it's a different sort of style of filming. Like they're actually
Mhm,
acknowledging the cameras, and it just kind of like it's different. It's cool." So boring. Literally so boring. I was like, God,
mhm.
like they're giving nothing. Like they are genuinely giving nothing. And so they're on that too. Put them both on the hot list of hate. Like put
Oh,
them
are we
both.
doing that right now?
Sure, I already went off. Put them
Oh.
both. Like Kardashians as a whole, put them there. Blake
Mhm.
Lively, Ryan Reynolds, put them there. They're so goddamn problematic.
I agree. I have a
Get them on
random
there.
I have a very first world hot list of hate.
Sure.
So we were booking our trip, our flights to Barcelona, and we wanted to do. Oh, something almost got in my eye. Hold on, dying. I can see it in my eyelashes. Oh, there it
Oh
is. Okay.
no.
I think it was a Remy hair. Okay.
Shout out.
Shout out to Remy trying to blind me. Okay. So we were going to book our flight to Barcelona. And because we're going in a temperature, it's going to be a little bit chillier. We're like, oh, it'd be really cool to go Barcelona and then go like south of France on a nice little high speed train. Like, how fun would that be? And
Mm.
I look up like round ticket pricing for Barcelona. And I'm like, oh, that's like not bad. So, like, if we're going one way, it would be, half that. If we were just flying to Barcelona and flying somewhere else, it was only like a $500 difference. I was like, what the actual F? So they make it, airlines do this. So that way you are kind of more forced to go round trip. And so, like, people
Mm.
that are like flying for business and stuff, they're making more money on that. I was like,
Oh,
why? Isn't that crazy? So we weren't our idea of going Barcelona, come in, leave somewhere else. We had to squash that idea because we can't. Why would we pay 75% to go one way? Then you're just destroying your budget
right.
for travel. Isn't that dumb?
Yeah, that
Why would
is.
it not be half?
Um,
I mean, capitalism.
yeah, yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe because like the country wants you to like stay in their country maybe and like spend more money. I don't know. I don't know. Wait, oh my God, this sounds so dumb.
What?
Is Barcelona a city? Wait, that's a city, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in
Oh,
Spain.
then I guess that doesn't really work out because you could leave from another city. Huh. I don't know. I don't know.
I know.
Oh,
So I was
that's a
making my
grievance. That is. That's not cool.
I know that is a grievance, and I'm taking it up with airlines.
She'll be out there picketing, just watch her work her little behind off. That is super annoying. Yeah, I don't, to be fair, don't run into that issue a lot. Don't
Mm.
look at a lot of airline pricing, but I do know every time that I've like bought in airline tickets in the past, just I kind of cleared it with my sister. I was like, "Is this good?" Like I have no idea, and she's like, "Yeah, that's a pretty good price." I was like, "Okay, cool." Like I have no idea. And the last time we bought tickets, we were going to Vegas, and we bought them after like having like a lot of wine. So
Mhm.
that probably like definitely
You
should have
probably
like taken a pause. Yeah, we just booked Spirit 'cause we're like, "Oh my God, it's like
oh my god,
$250."
spirit.
Horrible. RIP. It's like Ryanair. It's horrible. But I've taken one of those speed trains. So fun. Like you don't even feel like you're
So
going so
fun. No.
fast. It's
And they're
crazy.
so nice in Europe. Like,
So clean.
oh my god, I was like, it was funny because when we were in Italy, we accidentally went into like first class. They literally look the same. And
Slay.
we're sitting there and they're like, you're in the wrong area. You need to go to the. So we were like, I think we didn't do like basic, like one in the middle. Went to the
Mhm.
middle section, same thing. I was like, this is no different, but okay.
Maybe did they like serve you in first class?
I don't know. It was like they gave us like chocolates and biscuits and
Oh,
coffee but they weren't like anything like fresh biscuit. It was like a
yeah.
little, like
Sure, sure.
biscotti type thing. It wasn't anything
Oh,
fancy. Maybe they had a meal, but it was like a 2-3 hour train ride, so it wasn't like anything.
oh, not super long.
No, no, no. And you don't even feel it. You're just zipping through,
Literally wild. Like that's
so
so
fast.
crazy. We need one of
I
those
love
to
it.
get like across the US. Like imagine you could take a speed train from like New York or Boston to go to like California.
I mean, that'd be cool. You could take one from here in New York
Oh yeah,
City.
but it takes so long. Like we need that
Oh.
speed train. Like we
Mhm.
need that convenience. Like imagine a what it would like could it be how long is a flight to California? Probably like
Uh,
6 hours, 7 hours maybe, depending on a tailwind or not. So if you could take a train, I guess would it be worth it? I don't want to be on a train for 12 hours.
yeah,
Ugh.
that's a good point.
If we could
Okay,
get a
my
2 hour speed train
two.
from Boston to California, that would literally solve so many of my problems. Write it down. Somebody out there, let's get an engineer, a 2 hour speed train. That would be so slay. And it would provide so many jobs for people. So what's the problem?
It definitely would. My second item, I forgot to write it down, but I know I saved it. Where are you? Let me find it. It was. Nope, that's not it. It was, oh, everything is trying to kill us. Everything is. There were some new studies, and it's funny because we both are wearing
I'm
said item.
absolutely dead. Everything is trying to kill us, and it sucks.
Yes. So there were some new studies on Bluetooth. And they
Okay.
were saying, as we're sitting here, Bluetooth headphones, that there is some strong correlations between Bluetooth devices and thyroid cancer. And I was like, I literally cannot win. So I
Mm-mm.
have been wearing more of my plug-in ones because everyone knows I'm on that low tox life. But I'm like, why? Like, can there be anything in this world that is safe and it's not going to cause cancer and it's not going to kill us? Like, no. There's
No,
like,
honestly, no. Like, I remember, oh my God, there was like this girl that I was in college with, and she was talking about like, oh, you won't do X, Y, and Z, but you wear like Bluetooth headphones and it's going through your brain and like getting like really disproportionately like angry about it. And I'm just like, okay, like I don't give a fuck. Like sometimes, like, I don't know, we're gonna make choices that
Mhm.
are not like always going to like be like without like there's nothing without risk, right? Like
Yeah,
we
you pick your battles of what
we
you
do
want
our
to
best.
do. Yeah.
How much information is this being studied on? Like what I need to know the details
I
because
don't have any details for you,
she has
sorry.
nothing. Great. She has
This
nothing.
is
Now she's just
hey,
she's fear-mongering all of you. She has nothing.
listen, the hot list to hate is not the deep dive,
It's
okay?
not. It is just we're just putting things out there, okay? We're not a news source. We're
No.
not smart about these things. We're just hating them.
Mhm.
Wow. But
Mhm.
you know what? Like honestly, it is what it is. Like I sleep with my phone under my
It's
pillow every night. I don't care. Like
oh, that
I
one's
just
bad.
yeah, whatever. Like I'm probably going to go out in another way, like unrelated.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
like it is what it is. And I hate it myself because my phone's like fucked up because like I'm basically running it like
Oh, mine
so
is
long. You know what I mean?
I need a new phone. I was actually wait, what's are we done with the hot list? I did mine too. Did you have
I'm
more?
good. No, my grievances
Okay.
are done.
Okay, grievances are done. Hot list of 8.
Hot list of eight. That
Finito.
would be like if we love things, like, oh, they ate. It's the hot list of eight. Like you slayed.
Yeah, I feel like I love negative talk though. I'm not gonna lie. Like I
Oh, I
love hearing
totally do. I love a
what are
little
people
goss.
same? Like
Ooh, yeah.
maybe stop. Maybe
Ooh, yes.
maybe we need an episode a month where we're like things we love this month.
Yeah, but like that's like so like okay, you like things. Like everybody likes things. We want to hear about things that are annoying you. Like me to my sister, chronically, what's the drama? She goes, I have nothing. And I'm like, well, I have nothing. So like you need to bring something to the table. And then I'll ask
And
my mom, what's the drama? She's like, I don't know. Like I'm trying to like what's happening at work? Like what's the hot goss? Like I love it. It just feeds my soul. So
mm.
I love it.
One thing I do want to bring up real quick, because you guys know I'm watching Southern Charm. I'm almost caught up with the latest
Yes.
season. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, is how much I watch it.
It's a great
Um,
thing.
it's a great thing. So, the journey of Taylor, Shep's girlfriend on Southern Charm. You know,
Mm.
one thing I always believe in is that money doesn't make people good or bad. It just makes them more of what they are.
Oh yeah.
Taylor
Yep.
Taylor has done a like not even a 360, like a 7,000 million. Like she was the like I remember when they're talking to her, all the girls talking to Taylor about her relationship with Shep, whenever he's like calling her this mean things, calling her mean
Yeah.
names, being super
Terrible.
rude. And she's like, God has bigger plans for me. And this is like me not harping on people that are religious. This is literally just me reiterating what she said. But she's basically saying how like God teaches her forgiveness and how she's gonna fix him, and she sees the good in him. This bitch and like
Honey, honey,
cou-
honey.
a couple seasons later, and no hate, she has fake boobs. Whatever, she got boobs. Like, so what? She
Queen.
is literally trying to hook up with
Love.
all of Shep's friends. Like,
Love.
she's crazy. And I was like, I don't think she was like a good person to begin with. I think it was just one of those cases of where like maybe it was just like she seemed really good because she talked about the Bible a lot. I don't know, but like I always say like money doesn't make you a bad person, just makes you more of what you already are. I'm like these are her true colors. Like she's crazy, she's a liar, she just wants attention, and I was just like I can't with her. I literally every time she's on, I'm like you did Olivia, her best friend. She tried
Yeah.
hooking up with her boyfriend with
Yeah.
her kind of boyfriend. I don't know. If you're watching Southern Charm, I am not a Taylor stan. Nope. Can't
My
do it.
thing is always with reality TV, some people understand the assignment and other people like they kind of don't. And so, yeah, maybe she just acts messy as hell because she's like, fuck it. Like, I'm getting that check. I'm staying on here, whatever. Like, if she doesn't really care, like some people are just like so chronically unbothered. Like, maybe it's not a good thing, but they're just chronically
Mhm.
unbothered. And like, I feel like she definitely is. But also, maybe in the beginning, she had this savior complex about Shep, and she's like,
Chef.
I can save him. I can save him. Like, he's my
Mhm.
guy. And also, like, new to
Mhm.
reality TV and,
She was so
navigating
innocent.
that. But obviously, not really. I think, maybe
True,
behind a
true.
camera, there was things happening. But Shep,
Well,
not to be rude, so ugly. Peace and
oh
love.
my god. Oh, I thought you said he's in love. I'm like, what?
No,
You
no,
know,
no,
no.
no, no, no.
No, no, not a good looker at all. None of them are really like where I'm like, oh my god, like why are you
Yeah,
guys going so goo goo gaga over these like not even mid men, like low
like
totem pole.
Craig is my only one that I'm like, he had a glow up, but his voice is really
You're like, can you get a new voice box?
literally, it's like, what like is happening? It's like a voice is everything to me, right? A voice
Mhm.
is everything. You could be peace and love, a 2 or a 3, but if you got a hot voice, I'm like, whew, I'm smitten. You know what I mean? But
Trying to think of any good voices.
like a deep, strong voice, like
Mm-hmm.
Pedro Pascal's voice. Love, 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 love. Whose other voice is so good? Oh,
I
this is
don't
terrible. It's
know.
not coming to me. I will make a list of like 10 of the like best voices because honestly, a voice and a personality gives
Mm-hmm.
you so much more notoriety. Like if you're
Yeah, we
hot as
should
fuck, but you're like you have nothing, you're vanilla. I'm like,
we should do a weekend episode where we're just talking about good voices and play them.
yeah, literally like a little like ASMR, but voices.
That's funny.
I kind of
Um,
vibe with that.
anything else you want to catch up on before we dive in?
Um, I don't think so. By the time this comes out, I'm like hosting a surprise like bridesmaids proposal party. And
Oh,
I am
fun.
like so excited. I'm like in my party planning era. I'm like, I am genuinely a child, like at Christmas time, I'm so excited. I can't shut up about it. But I have like not many people to talk about it with because most of the people that like I would talk about it with, I like can't talk to them. So I'm like boring James, boring my mom, reaching out like just like
So,
randoms that will listen to me talk.
does this mean I'm not a bridesmaid? I'm kidding. We both know that. Oh, real quick, I'm just realizing this is our end of the month episode, correct? Because next week we have a deep dive,
Oh
the
yeah.
21st.
Oh, this is awkward. Yeah,
So
it is our end of
keep
the month. Yay.
keep keep in mind as we're recording this in the middle of the month.
Yeah.
But tell me about the bridesmaid stuff. What is that?
So it's gonna be like a little garden party. Like I'm telling them that they're like we're gonna come to my house, do a brunch. It's because only my sister and my other friend have like seen the house. My one
Mhm.
friend's coming in from Florida with her son, and then two
Mhm.
other friends are coming. And so it's like housewarming. We're gonna do a brunch. And then I was like, oh, I
Mhm.
reserved this like tasting at a winery because like one, I need these bitches to be on time. Two, they need to like look cute.
Mhm.
Um And one of my friends, I think she was kind of catching on to it. So then I like made up this like whole big lie. I was like, oh no, like this person's coming and this person's coming. And I think it's going to turn into like a pretty big like housewarming party and all that
Mm.
sort of stuff. So I keep like lying and dodging. And I'm like, ooh, this is
Mm.
like so fun. And I love surprising people. Like I hate being surprised. So nobody
Mm-hmm.
surprised me. I will
Mm-hmm.
literally die.
Mm-hmm.
But I love surprising people. It just like makes me feel like warm
Sounds
and
fun.
fuzzy.
Oh
I think it's
yeah,
gonna
that
be
sounds fun.
cute. I like laid out this morning, or not this morning, yesterday, kind of like what I like gonna need, what I need to like prep, all this sort of stuff. And I'm like, I love being a party planner on my own terms. That is an
Mm.
asterisk. Don't want to do it for things that I don't want to do it for.
Oh no, that's the story of my life. It's always on my terms.
100%. And
100%.
that's a slay. Just only for
Mhm.
me when I want to do it because I said so.
Well, that sounds fun. When is that? Next weekend?
The 25th. Yeah.
Oh, the weekend I'm going to Denver. Woo.
Yeah. So Ben, not coming here.
Well, bitch, one day we will get there. But yeah, when this comes out, I'll be in Denver, living it up, and dying of I almost said motion sickness, dying of elevation, poisoning
Oh,
essentially for like a week, probably like last time.
did you hit
Um,
those oxygen cans when you were there?
no, I heard those don't really help anyway. Like
Honestly,
it's
they
just
kind of look fun. I did it. We hit them in Vegas just for like funsies. I think it was like $10 for the can. I was like,
mm.
let's get lit off this pure oxygen.
Oh God. Okay, before we keep babbling forever, let's talk about kind of like two little things that we can talk about today. One, I want to talk about, I heard this on a podcast, and it's funny because it's your favorite person, Joe Rogan. And so he has had multiple famous people on. And it is very ironic to me that a lot of the men, the famous people he has on, they they it's like it is like a commonality of what they struggle with their health.
Okay.
Now, these people have all the time in the world, right? Because they can easily buy their time back with housekeepers, with a chef, with anything they could possibly need, they could buy their time back. So time is like not a problem for them. Finances obviously is not a problem for them. Resources is not a problem for them. Yet it was Adam Sandler he was interviewing, and then your favorite person, Mall Cop, what's his name?
Kevin James.
Kevin James. Both of them struggle with the same thing, like just being consistent and like doing the work. And I think it's so
Like
ironic
for their
how
health.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Like they're on or they're off. Like they can't be
Uh,
consistent with it. And I thought it's so interesting how these people who have all the time in the world, all the money in the world, like literally no reason to be like I can't do this other than the fact they just can't be consistent with it and do the
mm,
work. And it's just like such an important thing to remember is like it's not about all the things you have access to. It's
mm-hmm,
literally doing the same shit, the same basic things that we always talk about, like steps, water, being consistent with your food, having a plan, and just doing it over and over and over and over. And it's kind of like sometimes we look at people in Hollywood or famous people or people that have all the whatever it is, and we're like, oh, if only, I would
mm-hmm,
be, but like in reality, like you don't need all those things. Yes, they're helpful to a
mm-hmm.
degree, but you don't need all those things. You just need to be literally consistent. And you're beating Adam Sandler, who has all the resources in the world and just can't stick with it. I thought that was so interesting.
Yeah, that is really interesting because theoretically they could hire a personal trainer
Hmm.
to come into their house. They could
Hmm.
build a gym in their house. They could hire a private chef. They could work with somebody on their nutrition. They could, make it so easy for themselves. Literally remove any of the thinking out of it. But in my opinion, even doing that sort of stuff only goes so far. Like if you're not like committed and gonna show up,
Hmm.
you're never gonna be able to like do it on your own. Like
No.
just because you, even if you had all these resources, it's like
Yeah.
you have to have some drive. You have to have a reason why to show up. And it's kind of just, again, a really great reminder that like, even if you have all the resources, it doesn't make you, like there's no definite success.
Mhm.
You still have to make that decision every single day. And
Mhm.
again, if you have the resources, way fucking easier. But there
Mhm.
is still that obstacle to overcome, which is like, come on,
Yeah.
guys. Like, you've made a lot of money, you've made a lot of movies. You're clearly not lazy, but like, what the fuck is happening? Like,
Yeah. It's like
let's work. Let's get to the deeper aspect of this because you're clearly, you know, you can make hard shit happen. You know what I mean?
yes. And it's just like it really does come down like to the motivation of it, you know? Like
Yeah.
I am not like I don't think of myself as a coach to like I should not be the person motivating you to show up.
No.
Sometimes, yes, sometimes we're like use a little like bring you back to reality talk I think can be helpful for people. Like I need
Yeah.
that sometimes too. But
Totally. Some
that has to be
grounding.
yeah, that has to be like intrinsically like that I know I am doing this, like I know why I'm doing this, like why I'm showing up for myself, like that has to be ingrained. Like you just like a really good example for people because we're obviously not talking to coaches here, but if you have a family member that, needs to focus on their health and they won't, you can hope and pray and prod and beg them to do it, but they will not do it if they truly do not believe they can do it and that they
Yep.
truly want to do it or believe that they are what is the word I'm looking for here? Like they're meant to do it, they deserve
Worth it.
worth.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
deserve. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like you can't will someone to do that, and so, like,
No. Yeah.
I mean, you can attest to this too probably. How many years do we have clients when we just start in the beginning and we're like, "We'll help motivate you," like, and you're getting clients that are like, "I need motivation." Like, I can't be that for you. You have to want it too, and sometimes, like I said to Allie just now, like we have times where like we need brought back to reality and to remind ourselves like why we're doing these things. And even the other day,
Yeah.
like I was just journaling and writing on like why am I working as a coach? Like why do I love like having my own business? Like why am I
Yep.
doing this? Just to like have remind that to yourself. And that's
Yeah.
totally fine to need that, but you cannot will someone into to focusing on their health. And it's like, even rich and famous people, they have all the resources and they still struggle with that intrinsic motivation.
Right. Like at we're all the same at that very basic human level. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter what resources you have. Of course, it makes it easier the more resources you have, but going back to that very basic human level, we all have to make that choice. We have to say yes. We have to show up. We have to remind ourselves we are worthy. No one else can make it happen. You could even go and get a shit ton of lipo and maybe get, gastric bypass surgery, all these sorts of things. But if you don't show up and work for that, they're not going to work. So
Mhm.
even if you have all of this abundance of money and that's not a problem, like we cannot simply snap our fingers and like fix health. And that's something I find to be kind of incredible. Like money can get you pretty far with almost everything, but not
Mhm.
necessarily your health. You could again have all of these resources, have all this latest technology, but if you don't choose to show up in some capacity, it's
Yep.
not going to work.
100%. I mean, I mean think about like all of the work I did and I know I spent $16,000 in 2023. I don't know what the amount I spent this year, but just to get through my autoimmune
Yeah.
symptoms and like you know, a big part of that work, which I started like in the summer ish, and then more of this year was like the nervous system work. And like that
Yep.
work, like that was like the hardest work. Like paying the money wasn't hard, but like
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
the hardest work is like the intrinsic things, unlearning and diving deeper into X, Y, and Z. And it's like, you know, how many people do you see celebrity wise too that get all this lipo and everything done and then they gain it back or they still struggle or
And you gain
you
it with lipo.
it
It's
goes
kind of
weird.
horrible. It goes other places, which is like
Yeah.
such a, I hope they really warn people about this. Because
Doubtful.
you
Doubtful.
could get, lipo on, your hips and your stomach and your legs. And if you don't keep it up, like, go get lipo, go slay, but you still have to keep it up, diet and exercise. You have to. Um, but like people will start to like get it back in their shoulders and their fingers, like they just gain fat in places that they've
Oh
never
my
experienced it
god.
before. Um, and then they're like, oh shit. And then like you can't just continue to go lipo. Like you can't just like continue to just keep getting lipo. Even if you have all the money in the world, if your forearm all of a sudden starts to like get super fat because you've gotten lipo everywhere else, they can't do
Mhm.
lipo on your forearm because you got veins there. Like it just
I would love to bring on like a plastic surgeon to talk
oh
about like the trends and what they
yeah.
refuse to do. I'm manifesting a plastic surgeon to come on.
You have to find someone of integrity too. Like you
No,
can't,
yeah, I'm gonna
you know what I
find
mean?
someone on
No, no,
Groupon.
no, 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 no. I'm saying like in general, like, with
Yeah.
plastic surgeons, like you gotta,
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta pay for the quality. You
Yeah.
can't go on Groupon because you want somebody that's like also honest with you, right? Like if a
Mhm.
procedure isn't, it's not the right time for you, or your body can't handle it, or you're probably not going to get the
Mhm.
results you think,
Mhm.
I would hope they're honest. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of plastic surgeons that are. I mean, the show Botched. Oh, I get so sad. I get so sad. But I love Terry Dubrow, like Slay
Mhm.
King. I hope he's not problematic in any
I don't
lifetime. I hope
yeah,
not.
I hope not. I was listening to Sophia with an F, and she, if anyone
Do
knows
we
who
like
that
her?
is, I don't think she's problematic.
I've never, so like, I didn't even really listen to Call Her Daddy when they were like a duo.
I like her so much better than Alex. She's a much better interviewer,
Oh,
in
you
my
think?
opinion.
Okay, maybe I'll
I
have to give it a
well,
shot.
2 reasons. I can't stand Alex's voice,
Oh,
and she
okay.
doesn't let the guests speak. She, like, butts in annoyingly, like
Oh, you
and I
think?
just can't I know.
Oh. Oh, she knows.
No.
I
Yeah, I
think
can't do
Alex
her.
pulls really sick interviews. Like I don't listen on a regular
Yeah.
basis, but like when she was interviewing Ariana Madix, I listened. When she interviewed Trisha, I listened. When she interviewed someone else, like I listened sporadically, but I do hate how Daddy Gang. I'm like, okay, I'm right. Enough. The
Like
shtick is stuck.
Sophia with an F has a very Valley girl, like, accent,
Ugh.
dialect,
Don't
but
know if I
it's
could
like
listen.
but yeah, it's honestly probably a very annoying voice to many people, but I think I like her better. She is so her. She is so
Mm,
Sophia. Like she does not give a flying F about anything. Like she just
okay.
talk very, very vulnerable. I think that's why I can get through the voice doesn't bug me. Alex's feels fake to me. And that's why I think I
Hmm.
gravitate more to Sophia. But anyhow, where was I going with this?
You were listening to her podcast,
I know there was a specific reason why I brought it up.
Plastic Surgeon.
Her really, really good friend, like her best friend, just went through like this like mental life transition where she only cared about like getting a Birkin, getting a
Bergen?
Birkin bag. She only cared about the jewelry, the money. That's literally all she cared about. And she had she went hiking, solo hiking, and had like a whole like this is what I want to do now. Like
Oh,
she
okay, okay. I
yeah,
thought it
she
was
was
gonna
like
end badly.
no, no, she was like, I don't care about anything anymore. She just likes to be in
Oh,
nature and
yeah, yeah.
she got all of her filler removed, X, Y, and Z. So anyway, she had a time period where she was literally getting BBL injections from this lady who was uh, traveling by car from Florida to California and was literally like shooting up, like, I don't even know what in her ass, whatever it was. She got really, really sick because it like migrated. It was so
Ah,
traumatic. Like, I
oh
know,
my
really bad.
God.
I know. So, all that to say is like, people will go to extreme methods to look how they want to look
Yeah,
and do
yeah.
things that are not safe. But I was like, oh my God. But yeah, that was scary. But yeah, she's very, very like honest with the work that she's
Hmm.
had done because she's gotten a lot of it reversed.
Sophia.
No, no.
Oh,
Sophia's only
her
got,
friend.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll check it out. I don't want to. I think it is the internalized misogyny at times to just be like, oh well, she like, what's her problem? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why I perceive her as like the one that like did something wrong when I actually have like no
Oh,
idea
yeah,
about her.
I know all
I
the
have no
details,
idea.
but yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I did listen to like the emergency podcast, like kind of talking about that, but I was
Uh-huh.
never a caller daddy type of gal. Like I just like didn't
Oh,
really
it's a
care.
very, very specific demographic. When they were first starting, they were
When they
wild.
first started, yeah,
They
I
were
listened to a
wild.
couple episodes here and there, but like I wasn't a diehard. Like I'm a diehard for a lot of things, but I just was like, I'm just like over it. Like it just like they just sound like just kind of I was giving pick me energy. Hate to say it, sorry. I
That's
was
what
just like,
Alex gives me now, and that's why I'm like, bleh, you know?
Okay, sure, fair enough, fair
Yeah.
enough. You know what? I'll check it out. I'll hold myself accountable. I'm gonna let you know my honest opinion, and
Mm,
also I don't, people don't give a shit if I don't like them. Like, who am I? You know what I mean? Like,
no
Sophia
one.
with an F over here, she don't know me. If like, I'm like,
You are nothing.
right. So go slay, girl. Go slay. As long as you're not problematic, go slay. Love you.
Second thing, to kind
Oh,
of
yes.
turn the corner here. So we talked about Kerner.
Kerner.
Yeah. Uh, we have talked about this kind of before when it comes to things like Beachbody and people calling themselves a coach, and how you get that. And I want to really hone in on, like, just because you've experienced something does not mean you're qualified. What do I mean? So
Yes.
I was on a few podcasts talking about like my health journey and my autoimmune and all those good things. And I sent it to like my childhood friend because we were just talking about like what happened. And she was like, "Oh, so are you going to start like helping people with autoimmune diseases?" And I was like, "Hell no." And it reminded me, I was like, oh, people do this a lot. Like they go through an experience and then
Hmm.
they like, and coaches, a lot of coaches do the same, except real coaches here, except
Yep.
for
Yep.
a thing that the crap pola things don't do. So for a lot of people, they lose weight and they're, oh, I want to start teaching people how to do this. And
Yeah.
a person who with integrity learns, gets qualified, gets
Yep.
certified. And it was funny because my friend was like, well, you went through it, so you should understand it. Like, listen, autoimmune disease world is so complex.
Like, girl,
I
I barely know what happened from the trauma. Like,
yeah, I'm like, they're like, how'd you feel during those years? I'm like, I don't know. I was blacked out.
literally,
Like,
literally.
I don't have a step by like when I explain my story, it is I have to always say it is a spider web because so
Hmm.
many things happened. It's not like this happened, then that happened, we fix that, we fix. No, I wish it was my simple
No.
to-do list so I could just check off check.
Yeah.
It's not. And so for me to sit here and be like, I help autoimmune disease because I healed myself, that would be total liar because I did not do this on myself. I had two coaches on this. I have had spent so much money on getting help. We were bringing in other coaches who are more experienced, getting second opinions. I've done so much. There's no way in this world I would ever call myself an autoimmune disease coach just because I went through it. And a lot of programs like Beachbody, like what was the other one? Octavia, right? You
Mm.
literally pay for the product and then they're like,
Yeah.
no, I'm a coach. I'm like, shut the actual F up. You are not a coach just because you
Yeah.
lost weight and bought a product.
Yeah. It's so frustrating because most people that we're going to encounter in the world want to lose weight, tone up in the quickest way possible. Let's be fucking candid here. A lot of you listening to this have either you're experiencing it now or you have in the past, right?
Mhm,
Because we have, right? We
mhm.
have been there. And so when you're seeing those Facebook posts that like literally give me the cringe, those are going on my hot list to hate.
You know what? I'm gonna
My new program, Solution X5, helped me lose blah blah
mhm,
blah. And it's like,
mhm.
peace and love. Who is falling for this?
We're gonna put that right here because I'm pretty sure I sent
Yes.
one to Allie recently. So, and I'll blur out the name because I'm
Yeah.
not like an evil bitch, but yeah.
Maybe. No, but genuinely, as I'm scrolling Facebook, and then I go through the comments, and it's like, comment, whatever for more details on how to join my program or how to join the program. It's so vague and it's
It
me,
is
me,
so
me, me,
vague.
me, me, me. And I'm like, okay, let's just take a pause back. If something seems so amazing and incredible and it's so quick and it's just this one simple solution and it's these shakes and all this sort of stuff, of course that's going to draw people in. But like,
Mm-hmm.
let's just think about it critically for a second, right? Like, if you've struggled for a while to lose weight and to tone up and to build muscle and to do all these sorts of things, right? Like, this one plan isn't gonna fix it. And like all these, like, just like
Mm-hmm.
cringe coaches in quotes,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
what are they doing? Like, I feel like they're probably preyed upon in some aspect, but also
Of
you have
course.
to be a person of integrity, right? Like, just because you've
They are
lost
not.
weight doesn't mean you're qualified to teach people. Like, when I first became a coach, I didn't have this big weight loss journey, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I had gone to school for nutritional sciences, I had been a personal trainer, I had done a lot of other certifications. Like, this was just something that interested me, and I wanted to help women. And
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't have this big catalyst of like, I lost 100 pounds and now I'm a fat loss coach. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
I saw a problem and I really wanted to educate myself about it and like actually help women on a very deep level.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just is very frustrating as coaches. Like, just because you've done something
Yeah.
doesn't mean you're an expert. Like, I changed batteries in my thermostat doesn't make me a fucking electrician.
That's so true.
You know what I
Like,
mean?
just because I can make spaghetti does not mean like I'm an Italian chef. Like,
No, just because I put gas in my car doesn't make me a mechanic. Okay. Like, but why is that
yeah.
so different when what is happening in the health and wellness? Like, so many people, gut health coach.
Oh, because they sell
Where?
plexus. Oh
Where?
my God. Like, I,
Where?
and
Like,
even to like thinking about like think and we have different startings, I would say, like
yeah,
backgrounds for nutrition. I didn't go to school for nutrition. I was starting to, and then I left Akron because I hated Akron, and then I got sick, and then it was like, what's my plan B for school? And then
totally.
I got all of my education from programs, from mentorship. So it's funny because I'm realizing this now, yours was more like formal education based, and then I'm assuming continued education on.
Yeah,
Mine just
yep,
started in the continued education and then mentorship side.
yep.
And I think back to the very beginning, like I didn't know jack shit. I did not know jack shit. Like when you get certified by even NASM, I remember reading it was like do not squat below parallel. Like what? Like that is not a thing. Like
Yeah,
even that beginning information is so outdated, so old. My
very.
fucking PCP told me to lower my fat and not eat animal fats and cut my carbs to help my cholesterol. She doesn't even know. She doesn't even
Yeah,
know that
yeah.
that's outdated information, you know? So it's like
Very much so. And you know what's incredible? Most doctors take very minimal nutrition
yes.
courses
Yes.
over, over their time in school, which is sad because they're out here spewing
Yes.
information that
Yes.
is just not applicable. And I think it's interesting, coming from your story, like, you don't have to have, you know, a PhD, a master's in, nutritional sciences, exercise sciences, etc. You can just be committed. Like, you could all of a sudden, you're listening to this right now. You're in your 30s, your 40s, and you're like, holy shit, I feel inspired. This is something I feel called to. As long as you
Mhm.
put yourself around people that are educated and qualified and you are committed to
Mhm.
learning, go slay, help people. It's
Mhm.
the people that just have this, like, is it entitlement? Like, do they think that they're
Kinda. Oh,
like, what is
yeah.
it?
There was some lady in my DMs literally trying to sell me a keto thing, and I go, "Do you know, like, have you looked at my profile?" Like, "No, but I think you'd be a great candidate." Like,
Then
"Okay, do I?"
how? What do you mean?
Exactly. And then I go, "I'm a women's health and fitness coach. This is disgusting what you're doing. Trying to sell me on this fucking keto thing to burn." I was like, "You should be literally like hate
Did they
yourself for
leave you
this."
unread?
I can't remember. I think she responded back like really angrily. I
Oh,
don't know exactly what I said. This is like a while ago, but I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is literally just you're not a coach. Just because
No.
you bought a product does not honestly, those people are what makes our industry so toxic and
Yeah.
puts people off from getting more help and from
Yep.
investing more because they're gun shy. They're
Yep.
scared. They've tried all these things because they tried all these crapola things they see on the surface.
Yep.
Real coaches, I would say, we are like, you have to dig a little deeper. You have to get through the bullshit to find us, which sucks.
100%.
And you know why it's that way? Why we're harder to find? Because we don't have mega million dollars to broadcast our shit. We don't use flashy things to like sell what we do because we have what is it? Integrity.
Integrity. No, it's true. And this we see in the health and wellness space. Everyone's a gut health coach, everyone heals
Uh-huh.
hormones. And then on
Uh-huh.
the other side of it, everybody is also really in tuned with being trauma informed, and they
Oh
are
God.
mental health coaches, and they do this deep work. And there's this one, she was a fitness coach, then was a business coach, and now she does like deep mindset and all this sort of work. And like, okay, great. Like what,
I don't know
why?
who that is.
I have to look. I don't know her name. I like unfollowed her forever ago, but I was like, there's always so many like changes. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, okay,
Who?
never mind. I think she's actually like a sex coach now. So maybe we're thinking
Oh,
about
we
different
can
people.
block it, or we can just blank the name out if you don't want to say it.
Well, no, because then it's like extra work. We can
It's
say
not,
it
well, I want to know who you're talking about. I don't care.
after.
Oh
If you
gosh.
want to know who I'm talking about, ask me in the DMs. Send me a message and I'll tell
Yes.
you.
Ooh, saucy. But just like so many people go through something
Hmm.
and then feel like they know everything. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I have gone through a lot
Hmm.
of shit
Hmm.
since 2019 with having a panic disorder, specifically agoraphobia. I
Hmm.
feel I have navigated that really well. So did my therapist. So, but I'm not over here slinging information. I will share, like, I have a couple clients who are like, they kind of experience some things as me. I
Hmm.
will share very small things that I have found helpful for me.
Hmm.
Don't know if it's going to work for you. Talk to your therapist, right? Start the
Hmm.
conversations. If you don't have one, I can't be that for you, right? Like just because
Hmm.
I know a lot and I'm very emotionally intelligent and I've done a lot of work, can't help you. Like I have no idea how to help people. That's why, like, sometimes with friends or family, like, don't treat me like your therapist because I am so underqualified in that realm. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just know what works for me.
Yeah, and it's just like, no, I
Can
mean,
you
I
imagine me like going all over Instagram? Like now I am
no.
an agoraphobia coach expert, and I will teach you how to leave your house without panicking. Who?
And the worst part is there's some people that think they can do that, and you are
Yeah.
putting people at risk. Like, like
So dangerous and just unethical. And
right, like just because I dealt with body dysmorphia and had disordered eating patterns, not an eating disorder,
yeah,
does not mean I am a specialist for eating disorders. No,
right.
you're going to work with a qualified coach, a qualified registered dietitian who works with eating disorders. I would never claim to do that because why?
Yeah.
It would put that patient, it's a patient, not just a client, at
Yep.
risk. And I would never want to put someone's life in jeopardy ever, ever, ever,
No.
ever, ever. So it's just
Yeah.
like you got to be
And that's a
careful.
code of ethics, right? Like that some
Yes.
people will
Do
totally
not have.
practice out of their scope.
Yes.
If I don't know something, I will be so honest. I don't know
Yeah.
everything, and that's okay. And
Yep.
but it's these companies that have products and then hire all these coaches, quote unquote, for
Hmm.
the audio listeners. There's no scope of practice. They
Hmm.
don't even know what that means, right? Like, oh, but I have this supplement that will help your gut, right? Like I shout out to our greens powder episode. I have a greens powder that will solve your gut issues, and it will just make your gut so healthy and no bloating. And now I'm a gut health coach because I sell this
Hmm.
product. Like it's sad. It's sad. That is, you know what? That's on the hot list of hate too. Get them out of here.
Yeah, and we just it's integrity. It's what it comes down to, and we don't stand for coaches that do not have integrity. And just know, if you know someone who is selling crap like this, send them this episode.
Literally, oh my God. I was so insulted one time. Okay. So somebody close to me was like, "Oh, do you do what so and so does? She works for
Oh,
Optavia.
I
Have
would
you
jump off
ever
a bridge.
have you ever looked at my social media? Do you know me as a person?" I was like, "What the hell?" And for so long, I was like telling my sister, I was like, "I think so and so like works for like some MLM company, but like they
Mhm.
never post outwardly about it. Like it's always
Of course.
this program, my program. Like it's so vague." And then one day when this other person was talking about the third party, I was like, confirmed. I knew it. I fucking knew it. It's
Mhm.
Octavia.
Mhm.
I knew it. I feel validated, but no, I
Mhm.
wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Shout out to Gypsy Rose. My man wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't touch Octavia with a 10-foot pole
Not
because
even, not even. If it was like
20,
the
30,
last
1,000, their fuel packets, I'm
oh,
saying a 1,000-foot pole. If their
oh,
fueling packet was the only thing left to eat,
I'd
I wouldn't
starve.
eat it. Yeah, I would just, you know what? It's my time, right? It's my time. I'm not going to eat that. Like, so weird. Oh, it sucks. Sucks. And that's, I do feel like people have, they get an ick sometimes about like health and fitness coaches because there is so much shit that's like floated to the surface. And it's like,
Mhm.
just stick with it. If you're listening to this, you have found people that are like actually quality. Shout out to us. We are the best.
Mhm.
Um, but it's so sad. Oh, and I just cringe,
I know.
cringe. I
I
cringe.
know. I know. Anything it's the end of the month episode. I forgot, if you are catching us for the first time because you listened
Ooh.
to our deep dive on greens, hope you stick around. This is our end of the month episode. We're not recording at the end of the month. Um, but yeah, anything you
Well,
want to
you
add?
know, we're a little bit ahead. We're just like such productive girlies,
We
and
are.
that's what it's about. Like, that's what I'm here for. I don't think I have a whole lot else. Like, what is, are we, we'll be going into September,
Mhm.
and then September 28th is a year out from our wedding. And I'm like gagged
Wow.
about it. I'm so excited. I'm gonna be a bride. I am a
What am I
bride.
you yeah, you've been a bride the whole time.
I know, but I'm like,
Um,
I'm gonna be a wife because me and James, like, if I'm talking about him, I'm just like, oh, my husband, because it's like my fiance. Like, I just feel like fiance is like so cringy.
is it okay if I wear a white dress? I'm kidding. What
Um,
what am I
it's a
gonna
good thing
wear?
that you don't drink because we would just like throw a glass of wine on you.
Yeah,
Have you seen
true.
that on TikTok?
No.
Oh, it's like a, I mean, I think it was before TikTok, but it's like um if you wear white to someone's wedding, you get a glass of wine thrown on you because then it'll
Oh.
stain it like red. And I'll always see like people on TikTok like she's about to get a glass of wine thrown on her.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know if it ever happens,
Yeah.
but if anybody wore white to my wedding, you would either be handed a hideous t-shirt and you would have to put that over, or you would be asked to leave.
I
So
like that.
keep that in mind. The attire is going to be like formal, like so I'm a little I'm a little nervous about my dress because I'm literally like you go up a gondola and then we're like
Ooh,
in the mountains.
wow.
And so I think I'll probably have to bustle it and then like right before we walk down the
Mhm.
aisle because but it's like it's probably gonna get dirty. But my mom's like, it's fine. Like nobody will even notice. Like we'll
No one
figure
will
it all
notice.
out. But oh my God, I cannot
I'm excited.
wait.
Like, so black? Can you wear a black dress?
Oh, totally. Yeah. And it's going to be late September. So it's like fall. I think the boys are wearing like black tuxes. My dad's going to wear a black tux.
Mm.
But yeah, it'll hopefully still be like pretty warm because it's like end of September. Um, and the foliage is just going to be like so pretty. I'm like, oh, I can't
I'm excited. I wonder if I could just wear, remember that black dress I wore
wait.
in Denver?
Oh my God, I
Can
loved
I
that.
just wear that one?
That's literally, yeah, like that's literally so pretty. I love that.
perfect. And
Yeah.
the best part is I know it's gonna fit because I'm a consistent queen.
You are a consistent queen. Literally.
I
That
am
is
consistent.
being in my bridal era just makes me really happy that I know how to plan for my goals, right? Because you might be a
Mhm,
bride listening to this. You might be like, oh, I hope I get engaged soon, or thinking back to when you were married. I don't ever want to think about an event and be like, shit, I need to
mhm,
diet. I don't feel comfortable in my skin. It's going to be hell, but it will pay off, right? I don't want to experience that. I sure as hell don't want my clients, people, anybody. Like, I don't want people experiencing that. And so I was talking with my coach Kelsey, and we were like, we are in such a good fucking place. Like, we are over a year out. We're in a good place, and I'm just like, this is what it gets to be like. You don't have to be in this position where events are stressful, weddings are stressful. Maddie being like, oh, what would I wear? Right? For some people, that's going to be a really stressful thing. It's like, shit, I better
mhm,
just wait until like right before the wedding because maybe I'll lose the weight that I want to, right?
mhm.
Or maybe that dress will fit that I wore a couple years ago, right? We want to not do that. I want to really just make it easier for you guys. Like I am loving this bridal era because like I'm not stressed about how I'm going to look. I know like I'm following a plan. I know it's going to make sense. As soon as I get like my dress and if I have to get it taken in and all that sort of stuff, I'm not going to be concerned about like, oh shit, I just ate a bagel. Now I need to go for a run because
Mhm.
I know somebody that experienced that. And that makes me really sad for them.
And that's on having a coach. That's all I gotta say.
It's late.
Thank you guys so much for listening or watching Kinda Hot, Kinda Healthy. Please make sure to subscribe, give us a 5-star review, and share this with your girlfriend who needs to hear this. And if anything resonated with you, DM us and tell us. I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't want to speak for Allie, but I am a words of affirmation. Tell
me
us that
too.
you like this. We both are. Tell us that you like this. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere where you can stream podcasts. If you have a burning question about life, friendship, health, and 1 or 2 cents, email us at kindahotpod@gmail.com. That's KINDAHOTPOD at gmail.com. Bye.
Bye.